Today's episode of The Read Pile is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
I'm Elle, and I chose not to brush my hair for this week's episode.
And I am the sus man, Rick Sussman, and I chose not to gel my hair for this week's episode. This is all hairspray, baby.
We're lazy.
I feel like Marge. Oh, and you are watching The Read Pile.
It's the week of August 26th, and here's some comic book news. I could use.
Oh, yes, you could. So,
Tell me.
earlier this week, today, depending on when this video is allowed to upload, thanks YouTube, there was a bit of a brouhaha on the internet.
I see.
Involving Batgirl, but not in the way that you would think. The last time there was an internet-based Batgirl thing, it was about the Joker cover, and we have opinions on that, but apparently, and I'm only catching bits and pieces of it, there's a good chunk of the story on Bleeding Cool. Thanks, Bleeding Cool. That was awfully nice, and I guess they broke it, the story. But there was something of an internal memo apparently sent out from the very, very top of DC to everybody, saying, and I'm paraphrasing, quit Batgirling, that word was actually used, and get back to meat and potatoes. Those words were actually used. I am to assume that that means that stop goofing around and making like Superman wear like t-shirt and jeans, put Batman back in the Batsuit, even though in Justice League it is Bruce Wayne who's in the Batsuit, and it's also in Justice League of America, it's Bruce Wayne in the Batsuit. Well, whatever. Interestingly enough, though, from reports and things coming down the pike, this doesn't affect Batgirl in the slightest, which you could sort of make the argument. Yeah, you could sort of make the argument. They used the term, and that's obviously the kind of stuff that I guess the marketing geniuses or whoever it is that has the issue with this are basing their belief off of. Stop doing books like Batgirl. Stop making your books like Batgirl. Grayson is another one of those books that I know is on your read pile this week that may be affected by this. I don't really know what to make of that. That seems really weird. You being the resident angry nerd girl, I imagine have something to say about all of this. Your thoughts?
Well, I'm kind of upset that they decided to make that into a term, because I hate the current Batgirl. And I don't think it needs to be encouraged, even if it's
negatively encouraged?
Yeah, I think we just need to pretend it doesn't exist.
Well, it's selling quite well, so just because we don't like it doesn't mean it's not.
Are these people even reading it, or are they just collecting it? You know, they're just like stacking it up.
I can actually tell you that that's not the case because it's selling really well digitally. So people are really into that story. It's not for us. We've been over that.
Okay, yeah. Well, okay. To actually get back to the story, it is kind of odd. Like, why would they use the term and then it's not affecting Batgirl? Like, they're okay with Batgirl, but they're going to make fun of it by using it as Batgirling. I mean, obviously it was meant for its meaning.
Yeah.
Yet they're okay with how things are going.
I mean, so if you
it kind of boggles your mind a little bit. And furthermore, you didn't say it this time now, but you know, earlier we were actually discussing it a little bit, and you had mentioned that some of the arguments, or at least what it kind of sounds like what their complaint is about these storylines, like Batman and with Grayson, they were already on the road to where they're telling them to go. So it was funny that you actually made the comment that you're like, are they even reading the comics these guys are writing?
Like they want Bruce Wayne back in the Batsuit and Batman. That was one of the things that I read. But like, if you're reading that story, it's kind of obvious that's where it's leading to. So
yeah, even if it wasn't, it was kind of open to that possibility at least.
Yeah.
So how could they kind of like
do it now?
Get on top of them and be like, no, there's absolutely no way that you have any idea that you need to go this direction. Well, first of all, they're the writers. Let them do what they're doing.
Well, that's exactly it. You've nailed it. Whether or not we like Batgirl, it's selling. Whether or not you like,
read it.
Well, whether or not you want Commissioner Gordon in a giant mech suit that looks like, sort of a giant bat or the blue bunny costume, as people say. It doesn't matter. If you're reading it, you're enjoying it, and people, consumers, as we've always said, they will vote with their dollar. And if the books are selling, you probably don't need to worry about it. But part of the story is that DC took like a pretty big hit in terms of sales, and there's got to be a reason. So I'm guessing they think the reason is Batgirling.
Well, I mean, I guess if you just put Looney Tunes on the cover, you're good.
Oh, that's mean. Could be worse.
I don't know.
Could put cosplayers on the covers.
Okay, I'm going to say something about that.
Oh, that's going to be like a future episode. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, it's not that far off of a bad idea.
Oh, now you're for it.
I'm not for it. I think it's ridiculous. But if I was a business lady and I owned Marvel and I said, what's going to make these nerds happy? Oh, a big chunk of these nerds are cosplayers. Let's put some on the covers.
You know what? I don't have a counter argument. I'm good.
Right?
I'm good.
No?
I think she wins. Yes, you win.
But I mean,
no,
I'm just gonna say at the same time, I'm kind of hoping Looney Tunes is on Netflix.
Let's go review some comics.
Time for comic book reviews. First up, Insufferable. All right, we are on issue 4. And it was starting to get to the point where I was like, you know what? It's been a while since I got to this issue. It's been a little bit of time. And I was actually considering just not even bothering reading issue 4. Because, I don't know. It's interesting, I guess, because somebody is starting to dig up their past and really starting to mess with father and son and attacking people from their past. So it's something personal is going on. But I mean, not to be lame, but the name is becoming kind of the storyline now. It's hard to read because I don't know. It's the idea of the tweets and stuff with the son and how he's so obsessed with the social media. I get it, but when you're still having to deal with like a full page where there's just tweets as he's driving along on his motorcycle, it just gets really annoying, and I'm kind of over it. I get it. He's obsessed with it. Okay, can we just, I don't know, can we figure out what's going on, maybe? Move along with the storyline, and just the whole thing between the father and son, I don't know. I think I'm over it, and I have no interest in the storyline anymore. So, sorry. Move along. But on a happier note, dun, 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 issue 19, Harley Quinn. Ah, so cute. This is the variant cover. The other cover would be pretty much just a picture of some of the Harley gang members, and it's adorable, but hey, you know what? I wanted the variant cover. It looks cute. It's almost, I don't know, I look at it and I almost think kind of Christmassy for some reason. I think it's because with the green behind the lettering, and then it almost kind of looks like snow. I don't know. I think it's starting to get to that time of year, and it's in my head already. But of course, it's always fun to read Harley Quinn. It's always just lovely. And we get to have our final chapter on the tweaking Popeye. It's hilarious. And yes, we do, we're going to be losing some members of the Harley gang. I'm okay with that. I think there's too many. I want something more personal with each of these characters. When there's so many of them, it's kind of hard to be attached. They have some cute little names for each of their personalities, but I think it would be interesting to see them kind of narrow it down to maybe a core group, or maybe that's the idea. Maybe we're going to just kind of filter down to where it's just back down to her, and each one is, you know, going to have some story of how they go back to their normal life. I'm open for anything because I believe in I think they're going to pull off whatever storyline they decide to go with. It's going to be fantastic. But it's cute because there's a bunch of little side stories, of course, and one of which Cy is looking into who is stealing the medical supplies at the assisted living home that Harley works at one of her many side jobs. And how it's going to turn out is basically we are entering another huge adventure for Harley. So that's, of course, going to be fantastic. But pick of the week. And this is surprising to me because I don't know. I'm fumbling, I'm sorry, because I was getting nervous. Because Grayson. We are on issue 11, and I hate to say this, Gail, forgive me, but my love was starting to die a little bit for the storyline, and I was just thinking about it. I saw it was on my list, or my pile, and I was like, okay, I like Grayson. Don't really have a lot of bad things to say, but I wasn't excited when I saw it on my read pile, and that worried me. I said, what is wrong with me? Why do I feel this way? But then I read the issue, and I said, oh, okay, I'm just crazy, because this was fantastic. Pretty much, we are going to find out who was framing him, and for all the murders for the agents and everything, and how he was being framed, like how he didn't know and how nobody knew is just fantastic. How it was written and how they just kind of put that all together. But I think the saddest part of it all was while he's fighting this person, he basically is exposed. This person is telling him all these things about how he has just lied to everybody in his life, and you can see that it's breaking him down, and to the point where he's ready to quit. He's ready. And I don't know where the next issue is gonna go. I mean, yes, we get a little title at the end of this issue, but where is it really going to go? Is he really going back? Is he gonna stick around? I don't know. This is what I've been waiting for. This is where I wanted to be when I started reading Grayson. I was waiting for this moment, and I hope it goes the right way. I'm very excited, but I'm also very nervous because I don't want to be disappointed. I'm going to keep it to myself, but I don't know. I know what I want to happen, but I don't know. We'll see. I guess. Let's move on to Rick.
Alright, well, thank you for those reviews, Elle. Amazing. Interesting takes on characters that you like. Huh. What an odd way to do comic books. Speaking of interesting and different takes on characters that I like, I just finished up Gods and Monsters, issue number 3 of 3, Justice League. Oh, I will miss this book. It was fun, and I really enjoyed it. I'm not going to bother doing a full review because weekly titles can get repetitive, but it was a really cool 3-issue mini. It's an Elseworld story, or a DCU book, but, let's not call that anything. Also out this week was Munchkin issue 8, which I did a micro review of on our Twitter. I wanted to read to you, though, the card that's inside it. You can be a level 1 baby boomer. The baby boomer has +5 against everyone but kids. Adults always underestimate the baby boomer, which I think is ironic and funny. And the bad stuff is, boom! You blowed up good! You are dead. So that's the card that's inside Munchkin issue 8. If you play Munchkin, you get those jokes. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you. You should play Munchkin. I once played Munchkin with Elle, and then she won, and she never let me live it down, and now I don't play Munchkin anymore because I'm tired of her gloating.
Whoa!
It's a true story. And I don't gloat when I win ever. Okay, moving on to actual reviews. We have East of West, number 20. Hey guys, remember the last time I reviewed an East of West book? Because I don't. It's been some time. the whole issue, it's the beginning of a new arc. Okay. We're going to be dealing a lot with the Endless Nation. Alright. How they relate to their world conquering and things like that. Okay. But the whole issue was essentially just building up to something that you already figured out. The girl with the creepy eyes, yeah, she's not who she seems to be. Oh, okay, well, I could have figured that out since she doesn't look like anyone else at all. That she was going to be some sort of important character. Alright. It's issue 1 of a new arc. It's like being mad that the first episode of a new TV season didn't rock your socks. I want to be upset, but I mean, I'm being ridiculous if I really try hard enough to try, oh no, it was terrible, blah, blah. It wasn't terrible. It was fine. I just wanted more. Speaking of wanting more and actually getting it. They Are Not Like Us, number 7. My sort of evil or maybe more human version of the X-Men. I really enjoyed issue 7. This is the start of their next arc, and they've been gone for a little while as well. But the difference between East of West and They're Not Like Us is East of West is doing a lot of world building in every issue. Every issue we're learning more about the universe that we live in and things like that. And I love it. Trust me, I love it. I love Hickman. But in this, we get more storytelling and we get more movement in the story. And there's a bigger sense of urgency as you read it. And that was sort of an overarching theme in all of my books this week was that sense of urgency. Where was it? And in They're Not Like Us, there was that sense, that interesting take. I'm looking forward to seeing where the story is going. I was happy to know that issue 6 was not the end of the series like I initially thought it was. So we're gonna, keep following it along. Another book that returned to my read... Actually, I guess all of these returned to my read pile except for my pick. But another book that returned to my read pile this week, Rumble. Oh, Rumble. Oh my god, do I love this book. Oh, the art, the storytelling, so initially, when people asked me about this book, I said, oh, it's like if Mo Sislak was involved in some sort of demon war at his bar. But now the story has evolved, and we're starting to see that the hero, whose name I'm never going to pronounce properly, but the guy who's on the cover here with the big sword, who you can see right here, he is such more than this crazy 1,000-year-old mythical hero. He's actually got layers to him, and at one point he's relating a story to how he went to a village that was being protected by one of the demons he was swore to defeat and kill. And the village actually loved this demon. They said, don't hurt that's our deity. That thing protects us from the bears and the lions of the world, and you can't come after him. And our hero explains that being a warrior means sometimes you have to kill, not because it's something you enjoy doing, but something that has to be done. And if you ever get to the point where you're doing it because you enjoy it, you're not a warrior, you're not a hero, you're a killer. And it was a really awesome story, and I love Rumble. You gotta check it out. It's so much fun. That said, it was not my pick of the week. My pick of the week is an oldie and it's a goodie, and it's been on our pick of the week many times. Let's spin up the graphic. Good. And it is Rasputin, issue number 8. If you're just joining us, we have jumped ahead in our timeline. Essentially, we're doing an analog, it would seem, to Hillary Clinton running for the White House here in the U.S., but there's a lot of other things going on, and why has Rasputin survived? I mean, they've mentioned it like 3 or 4 times. He's been dead. Well, why is he dead? Why did he die? How did he die? Well, all of that is beginning to get explained here in this story, and they aren't pulling punches. Alex Grayson, I'm hoping to pronounce your name properly, and if not, I apologize. I know you happen to watch the show. And Riley Rosmo are the two first names on the agenda here. Rosmo's art, we've been over that a million times, and Grayson's storytelling is made me flip through this book. I honestly read this book, I think, in about 3 minutes flat. I couldn't stop flipping pages. And when I got to the ending, I didn't even realize it was the end of the book. I just kept reading, and I went into like the notes and the preview of the next book that's in here called Headlopper, which was fun. But I was like, oh man, I forgot that. I guess I missed the end of the book. I gotta go back. I gotta reread it because I was plowing through this story so quickly. When you forget that you're reading a comic book, when you're like, oh right, there's a continuation because the book has to end. That's your pick of the week because you can't stop beaming about how much fun you enjoyed, how much fun you had, how much you enjoyed reading it. Oh, good stuff. Thanks, guys. That was awesome. For you, our loyal followers of The Read Pile, we have an awesome offer from Audible.com. Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their awesome service. You can download some really great books like The Hobbit, the unabridged version from Tolkien. You can download Divergent, Lean In, lots of great stuff to check out. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia. Again, that's audibletrial.com/nerdupmedia for your free audiobook.
That's this week for the Read Pile. What are you doing?
I am, as you can see, wearing my Vaudevillain shirt. I am doing the Vaudevillains pose. Well, specifically, my buddy Simon Gotch's pose. I could also do the Aiden English pose, but I don't really have the arms for it. I can do this one. This one's good. You know what? You just hush. Simon Gotch is a friend of the show, and the Vaudevillains captured the NXT tag titles this last weekend. So I wanted to give a big shout out to our buddy Simon. Mazel tov. Well done. Way to be a champion. Knew it all along. You know who else was there to help them? Friend of the show, Leva Bates, as she's known in NXT, Blue Pants. You didn't even know you were repping her today. You didn't even know that. Boom.
Okay.
Congratulations, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Ma'am, I'd like to thank you for coming out for the show and participating in the audience. We have nothing for you. You need to go home.